What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna be bringing you a mid ball fade. You're gonna see me in the video take her hair down, and we're gonna have to go back and we're gonna have to take it down some more just because she wanted to take some more off. But let's jump right into it. Here we're gonna go ahead and pick the hair out, just making sure that we have a clean canvas when we go cut it down. I take a number 2 guard and go against the grain. Previously, her haircut, she had a wavelength haircut. It's like a 1.5 with the grain. And like I said, there's a couple different changes. She wasn't sure how short she wanted to go, so I used the plastic 2 first. Went with the actual metal 2 on my Oster Octanes. Just take some more off. This haircut can be fairly simple, and it's always best to take the hair down first so you know kind of what you're fading into. And that's the same way as if you're gonna go in just on the sides and keep the length on top. Create that canvas, and then you know what kind of guard you have going with it. But here again, you see me going with the grain, against the grain, just kind of seeing what she wants to do. We end up going down to a 1.5 against the grain, and that tended to be about the perfect length of where she wanted to stay at. But always making sure that we're combing and cutting at the same time. Well, not really the same time, but cutting, combing, and let's make sure we constantly keeping the hair even and laid down, so when we go against it, we can make sure that we get an even cut. So I'm gonna begin by putting my first guideline in, and she's not gonna get a C cup, so I take it up just right to the end of the point to get the fade started. And here, usually, on my mid fades, it really just depends on this head shape. Head shape is very important to me. So in the back, her occipital bone is kind of prominent, and then it kind of dips in again towards the top. So what we'll have to do is we'll drop it down a little bit below the occipital, and we'll continuously bring our guideline the whole way around the head. We'll go ahead and clean it up with that FX underneath, get it nice and close. And on this one, I made a kind of a mistake. I should have used my close shaver. I used my close shaver at the end, but oh well. Nothing's perfect ever. So but we go ahead and we create our first guideline, going about a 1/2 inch up, and then we slowly close that clipper and take that bottom line out. I've used several different methods, where I've left the bottom line last and then take it out, and then I do the method where I put the guideline in, take the line out, and both processes work pretty well. Just gotta find what process works best for you. But here we're gonna go whole way around the head, and we're gonna take out that bottom line to get ourselves started. Consistency is always the best, especially when it comes to fading and doing a ball fade. So I know you'll see me in this channel do half the head sometimes, and then the whole head other times. Just depends on the type of person that I'm working with and how long I've been cutting them, because I know their head shape, I know their haircut, I know how well I can make it look consistent on both sides. As you see, when I put that first guideline in with the blade open on my Gamma Ergos, that line is pretty much obsolete. Mainly just because I put the guideline in with my clipper closed. Super easy to get that line out then. We'll take that number 1 guard with the blade open, and we'll just blend it into the top. And we'll just make sure that canvas is nice and clean as we fade up in this process. We'll then go ahead and close that clipper up, and we'll fade down a little bit just underneath that. Now we're taking that half guard. Usually I like to go in with the blade open first, just to make sure that, just to see and hear what I'm cutting. and then I'll slowly work my way into closing it up slightly, just a little bit more, typically about halfway and then all the way. And I'll just gauge and see kind of what hair's being cut, any dark spots. I use the corner of my blades a lot. So, I mean, you can see it already come together. But I'm taking my number one guard closed, and I just kind of clean up the front hairline a little bit, just brushed it down, with that number one guard, and just brushed it down in the front. Here on the other side, we're going to do the same process. And, you know, bear with me, man, because I'm still trying to get used to, you know, these voiceovers, and I need to get color-coded guards, because I'm like looking at the video as I'm doing the audio and the voiceover. I'm like, what guard did I use? 'Cause sometimes these videos are, you know, week, 2 weeks old, because I'm usually slacking on editing the video right away and trying to get it posted. But we're working on that. I'm gonna try to get someone to take the videos for me. But as you see, you know, with that 1/16 right now on it, I'm just using the corner of the blade, and you'll see me drop down to that no guard and go ahead and clean it up just a little bit more. Mainly just because her hair was super wavy, so there's a lot of dark spots, and I wanted to make sure that, you know, they were really good and clean, and the fade was consistent. So, you know, a lot of going back into the haircut just to make sure that everything was in place to the best of my abilities, and to make sure the haircut was clean for the video, you know. You can see the left side is causing me a little bit more issues than the right side. Typically on everybody, I mean, if you're a barber, you know how it is. One side is usually harder than the other side, and you sometimes struggle being consistent the whole way around the head just because it is that way. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm maintaining brushing the hair down, mainly with a comb. I probably should have used a brush in this situation, but just trying to get this hair to lay down and look good, you know. We have to. But you can see the fade's already coming out. Here I'm going with the grain with that number one guard closed. I'm going in with that no guard again on this side. Like I said, I'm putting a lot of detail work into this side. I felt the other side came out super smooth. This side gave me a little bit of issues, so we just hop back down on our guards and try to work them blends out. Here, taking our razor comb, I'm just kind of going with it with the short side and just trying to grab those darker spots that, like I said, when, you know, I didn't get when I was detailing, and we trying to lay the hair down, especially from being curly. Making sure that I do that both on the same side. So like I said, it's all about consistency. So we definitely want to make sure that we do whatever we do on one side, we do to the other. So here's my little trick. I use some shaving cream, and I'll put that on the hairline, kind of strip some of the oils off the skin. Gives me a clean canvas to work with, especially before the lineup. I'll take my hot towel, put it on top, give it a little massage. You know, it's just like added bonus to the service. I like it. You know, some people don't have time to do it because their haircuts are not, you know, not as long as mine. But this is just my process, and you know, my clients enjoy it. I enjoy it. It gives me a real good canvas to work with. And you'll see me, I'm applying hairspray. So I don't put the hairspray on the person's head. I put it on the Sanex strip first, and then I apply it, just because you don't get that residue all built up. And you can see it looks sharp. You get that ash line, which is like the hairspray line, you know, and you can kind of see where you're cutting and see where your guide's at, and to make sure that the haircut is consistent, or the hairline is consistent on both sides. And her hairline is a little bit lighter to work with, so you know, using that process makes it super easy for me. Now, obviously, it's not my process. It's just what I've adapted through, you know, seeing other barbers and what they do. Taking my Barber Magic pencil, and I'm gonna just outline it a little bit more, just to give it that nice little pop. And then we're gonna do that on both sides. Of course, you know, you can't do half the head. Then I use my Slimline Pro with the GTX blade just to kind of go in and get rid of some of that residue from the Barber Magic pencil. And in this haircut, I did show the enhancements. Sometimes I use enhancements, sometimes I don't, but I don't try to get too heavy with it. It's super light usually, and I don't really use hair fibers like that unless someone asks for it. But you can see, look, it's just enough to give it that nice little pop. And you see how she loving it. So, but now, you know, this is the finishing touches. We'll add in that razor work. And if you haven't already, for more videos and updates, please hit that subscribe button and smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. I know I'm still learning, so bear with me. We're going to get better at this, and the videos will get better over time. But here's the finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Alright guys, I will catch you on the next one. And hopefully I'll be dropping that review video on the Andes GTX Evo.